Strangely Alright is a show about people, places, and things in the Great Northwest. People doing things a little left of center, making things uniquely their own.
And you're going to find in this little journey that some of those things come from deep down inside of us. I'm Regan Lane.
And I'm Raymond Hayden. And this is Strangely Alright.
Hi, everybody. I'm Regan Lane.
And I'm Raymond Hayden. And welcome to Strangely Alright TV.
Yes, welcome, everybody. We've got a great guest today. She's a wonderful woman. She's a mother, hair salon owner, educator, hairstylist, and she's also a huge advocate of the Tacoma businesses.
Actually, the advocacy turned into political aspiration. She ran for council member for District Number 2 in Tacoma. Yeah. We are talking, of course, about Trish Lecy, and she's here with us today to talk about her life and her journey, obstacles and curveballs that have been thrown her way, and how she overcame them.
Absolutely. Trish is a great woman. I've known her for a number of years, and a wonderful story. So we're going to go inside of her salon right now, Embellish.
Embellish.
And it's one of the coolest salons in town.
It is the coolest, not one of the.
All right. Let's go do this. Come on.
Let's do it.
On August 21st, 1966, Patricia Lecy came into the world in El Paso, Texas, to military parents from Lakewood, Washington. She attended 3 elementary schools that all ran into Lockburn Junior High, and then graduated high school by attending Clover Park Voc Tech. Trish was always the shortest one in class and first in the front row of class photos, except in kindergarten when Don McKillop held that spot. At 21, Trish made a geographical move which took her to Colorado. Various shenanigans ensued, and she eventually moved back to Tacoma at 25, where she had her daughter Nikkei. A few years later, she met her husband Thane. Both being Leos, they had a steamy, laughter-filled, and sometimes toxic relationship. At the 5-year mark in their marriage, they got sober by his lead and started to live a wonderfully normal life of ambition. Trish and Thane then purchased a commercial building in downtown Tacoma, and after working as a corporate educator for a hair care company, Trish finally opened her own hair salon called Embellish. I love the salon.
Thanks.
It's just amazing. What was your first job?
Well, actually in junior high, I made wrestling headgear for the U.S. Olympic team for Mat Men Wrestling. I cut out the straps and had to weave them into the headpieces.
What led to this hairdressing thing?
I came back from Colorado pregnant with my daughter and decided I didn't want to be a bartender again. And what do? That's creative. And I think my mom and dad always knew I was going to be a hairdresser, but I had no idea. And Jean Juarez had just come onto the scene, which raised the level of professionalism in hairdressing. And I went to school, and
Did you have a passion for it at first, or did it kind of grow?
I think my passion is more the people. Okay. It's not necessarily snipping the hair.
Yeah.
But luckily I'm good enough at doing that I get good people in my chair.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I've met people that cut hair, and I'm sure you have too, that are really good but horrible people. Persons.
People person,
yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, you have to have a mix.
And I've also met people that are just below average hairdressers but great with people, and they have great businesses. So a good balance of, I know that you're good because I've been around and seen you. It's not just because we're friends, but that whole what drives you is not only the creative aspect but also the people aspect.
Yeah. The relationships that get created in the 45 minutes that somebody's in my chair are sometimes long lasting and far reaching.
As we get older, we have these bucket lists. What are a couple of things that you'd like to do to take off that bucket list of yours?
A lot of places in Europe. I have a lot of places to travel to. I think that's probably the biggest thing.
Any place in particular that you'd like to go check out?
I'd love to see Greece. I'd love to see Italy. I'd love to see Africa.
Really?
And I would love to go to Bali and some of the Orient.
So this is a beautiful salon you have here.
Thank you.
I bet you're very proud of it.
Yeah, we love the space.
You should be. So one thing we haven't talked about is Embellish. When you started, can you give us a little insight into how you started this whole thing, where the idea came
absolutely.
from?
I was a hairdresser for well, since '93, and I had been doing corporate education for a hair care manufacturer for about 8 years, and they downsized. So instead of looking for another job, I took my severance and my stockpiled furniture, and I opened a salon over on 6th and St. Helens.
So when you started in '93, did you call it originally Embellish?
2003 was when we opened. Yes, it was called Embellish, and when we moved over to this building, we turned it from a sole proprietorship into an LLC. And so we're Embellish Multi-Space Salon because we embody the multi-space concept of Davinus, the hair care company from Italy that we use.
And you have a clientele that is it, I'm guessing, mostly women? Or is it
we have quite a few male clientele. I mean, we have a lot of families. We do babies' first haircuts for free. We have a pretty wide variety of clients. Most of the clients, though, the thing they all do have in common is that they're pretty individual. I think that the one thing that sticks with me is that we're so embedded in the community that even somebody who's never had their hair cut here or may have a hairdresser that they love, they still talk about Embellish, or they still send people to Embellish. So it's like people love us even if they've never been here.
Now, we hung out at a certain time when we both like to delve into some different things, and we were on a couple of trips together that were, I guess in all honesty, entertaining, and we were pretty much a hot mess.
Yeah. I seem to remember Leavenworth and a Port Orchard trip that was really fun. In fact, I think Mike Tyson got his ear bit off in that fight when we were in Port Orchard.
That's right. And I remember those days fondly because we've stayed friends and got to the other side. Do you run into people occasionally that remember the good old days? And
I do. And it's always great to hear those stories in their singularity, but when you start stringing them together, you kind of go, oh.
Yeah.
But I mean, I remember even way back when Stripes, I mean, I was underage getting in the bars at 18, 19, and wherever Stripes was playing on any given weekend was where you wanted to end up at the end of the night.
And I don't know how good or bad that is.
Well, I love now being able to go to see you play or go out to a bar or go dancing or whatever, and I love the fact that I get to leave before 11 o'clock, or I'm not the one that gets kicked out, or I don't have to make an apology phone call the next morning. So it's nicer. There's a whole lot less stress and everything around it.
So how long have you been doing Locks of Love?
Pretty much from the beginning. We've always supported that cause. It's kids with cancer. It makes wigs for them. So it takes a lot of ponytails to make a wig.
So how does that program work? Do the families come?
It goes directly to the organization of Locks of Love. We send them in. So I'll send in a big box of ponytails about every, once a quarter or something, and then they take them and they make the wigs for them. And yeah.
So the hospitals that have these children with cancer or whoever needs them, they have a social worker there that just...
They probably have a service that they provide, and fit them for them.
Oh, very cool. So is there any other programs that you work with in the community, in partnership with Embellish?
There's too many to name. We pick a few a year that we work with directly. We do a lot of internship with the School of the Arts and Science and Math Institute. We've helped Emergency Food Network, and it just depends on what's hitting our passion that year.
Sounds like this place is getting pretty busy. Is there somewhere we can go have a cup of coffee?
Yeah, let's go down the road to Be Sharp.
Sounds good.
All right.
After you. So you've been involved for a while in the downtown community in helping the businesses. And what would your advice be for anyone who'd like to get involved and give back to the community?
Ask businesses questions. Find out how you can help. Social media, plug people all the time. Be Sharp is a great coffee house. Embellish does great hair.
Sounds like this place
tell
is
people about the toy store downtown. Let people know how businesses impact you in your everyday life. And volunteer for some special events or, nonprofits. Get out there and help the community and just walk. Meet people and just say hi. When we interact, we know the people, and then there's more of a connection. Well, when you work in your community or you know your businesses or know what's going on, you develop a sense of camaraderie and community and social capital. There's the dollar moving around, but it's really great when you know the people that you do business with and you interact with every day. There's a new place opening up, the Tacoma Brewing Company, a group of attorneys that have taken an old historic building and done some great things with. Rainier Connect has really brought some stuff up down in the brewery district. Be Sharp is a new coffee shop in Opera Alley. Great restaurants like Marrow and Top of Tacoma, even Hilltop Kitchen. They bring us great food and they're putting us on the map. The City of Tacoma also has a website. If you want any information, I think it's now at www.golocaltacoma.com. You can ask a lot of questions and see what's going on. And they also have Tacoma Means Business. So there's lots of resources if you want to get started and figure out how to start or grow a business.
So Trish, where did you grow up at?
Lakewood.
Lakewood?
Yes.
Were you originally born here in Washington?
I was born in El Paso.
Okay.
My parents were in the military, and they moved back up here when I was about a year and a half. And I cruised around Lakewood.
What'd your mom and dad do?
My mom worked for many, many years, over 40 years, for a eye surgeon, eye clinic.
Like the LASIK?
Yeah, they eventually went into LASIK. Back in those days,
they had stone and knives.
Yeah.
We're going to fix you.
Yeah.
You grew up in Lakewood. What elementary?
I went to John Dower, and through kindergarten and my second time in second grade. I was held back in second grade. And then we went to Nyanza Park and went to Tye Park Elementary School for 2 years. And then I ended up at Southgate for 5th and 6th grade. So by the time I got to Lockburn Junior High, I knew pretty much everybody in school.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. So, for your hairdressing, when did you go to school for that? When did that happen?
I went to hair school, cosmetology school, when I came back from traveling in Colorado and Arizona. I was 25.
Okay. And that was kind of a crazy little journey, wasn't that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wherever you go, there you are.
Yes, exactly.
You have a daughter who is a young lady now.
I do. She'll be 23 at Christmas this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I have a 4-year-old grandson.
You have a 4-year-old grandson?
Yes.
See, that's the best part, because you can enjoy them.
It
and then
is
give
the
them
best
back.
part. Yeah.
So
they're awesome.
What kind of impact has she had on your life?
Well, she slowed me down a little bit. I got pregnant with her when I was 25. I came back from Colorado pregnant with my daughter and then went to hair school. And so she definitely put a light in my life, gave some purpose that maybe helped a little, not on the straight and narrow, but probably kept me a little bit in the realm. And I've learned from her over the years. Just, how to love, when to let go.
It's funny how children are, our kids in our lives and young adults, they can actually teach us something.
Oh, yeah, immensely.
I know my son the same way. Just, even when they look at you and shake their head, like I do with Regan a lot. He's my kid.
I don't know what's wrong with Ray today, but we're going to keep working with you.
It's been fun so far.
It's been awesome, hasn't it? So, in your journey, you and I have similar stories, backstories that we both know about. What was probably the biggest thing that's turned your life around for you? You told me that there were some things that happened and you made some changes.
Well, definitely, much like you, if we're being candid, was getting sober 13 years ago. Mm-hmm. For me, I think life really started to happen then. Mm-hmm. I wasn't just, managing it or chasing it or running from it. So I think that was definitely a big turning point. Becoming a business owner, becoming a mom, and definitely becoming a grandmother. That was huge. But I don't think just being sober can do it all. You have to look for things beyond the black words on the white pages in the blue book.
Absolutely.
So continually looking to enhance and enlarge my spiritual condition is just an ongoing journey.
So Trish, you have dodged quite a few bullets in your life. I'm not talking about being from Lakewood.
there are a few there too.
I'm right across the border in Tacoma, so I can't talk too much. But so, what's next? What's next along your journey?
That's an interesting question. Right now I'm working on some opening of the path. Doing some transformational work and breaking through some old scripts so that I can see what's next, actually. I have a very strong feeling that there's some transformational work for probably females and maybe female business owners and maybe even young females.
Well, we've come a long way. I think we could all agree there, but we still have a long way to go. And I think that, when you talk about imperfections earlier, I think people need to make more mistakes.
Yeah.
Because listening to you
Great
talk...
things come out of mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't you think so?
Oh, absolutely. Creativity comes out of mistakes.
So maybe after we're done shooting today, we can all go make some mistakes.
I'm sure we will.
I'm sure I will. I'm sure. You had said something about transformation. So what does that mean? What specifically are you talking about?
I guess analogy would be sort of like, the butterfly. The worm, the fuzzy, yucky worm goes into the cocoon and really gets inside and, and does that... morphing, and ends up coming out a butterfly. I think we're all butterflies in one way or another, and having the patience or the courage to go through that hard stuff.
Sure.
You break through that shell and you come out with, some beauty for yourself and everything around you that's pretty amazing. But I think a lot of us are too afraid to sit in that uncomfortable part. Yeah. And so I want to hold a gracious space for people and especially females to know that that's okay.
Well, along those lines, the cocoon, if you will, that's a great analogy. For the person out there who is watching Strange Right television right now, who's at that crossroads, what can you tell that person?
Breathe and sit with it and wait for and welcome what's supposed to come. I think we don't give ourselves enough openness for the gifts and the abundance that we could receive. We look at the things that are in the way.
I think that's a good question, Ray, because the first thing I think of is that I need, when I have those things, I'm going through that, I need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
I need to get that out of my head and take the power away from it and throw that at someone that I trust.
I say name it, pet it, and let it go.
Yeah.
You need to come up with a coffee table book. Is that what they call it?
Coffee table book.
Seriously.
Okay.
With all these little sayings.
All the isms?
No, at my house, I have, a lot of musicians come over all the time, and I have books about different artists, and I have a couple books like that, and those are the ones that are looked at the most. But that's it's something that can be put when you talk
the embellished way. Get out of your way.
Exactly.
I love it.
She's gonna be like Oprah one day, and then we're gonna call her. Hey, can we get you back on stage? All right. She's like, I'm sorry, Regan and Ray who?
Regan who?
Regan.
Yeah. Ray.
Ray. I know Ray.
Yeah.
Of course, that's the story of my life.
The check cashed.
So,
Regan and I go way back.
The idea of helping women. Everybody does something because something else has led them there. At least I believe that. So were there some obstacles and some kind of prejudices maybe thrown your way early as a business owner that you feel like maybe you can empower some younger women, girls, people getting involved?
Oh, yeah. I got in fights when I was younger all the time. Boys wanted to beat me up. So I was always defending myself. And there's a lot of my personal transformation has gone through, dealing with my little professor, the one that wants to do all the stuff and take charge and, run the show and all of that. But as far as my industry and work, and then running the political campaign too, there's just some male-female dichotomies, that we still deal with in imbalances there. And I think that we're stepping into a time of the feminine right now that is incredibly amazing and powerful. And I just want women to know that they can embody and empower themselves, with the strength and the knowledge and the talents that they have. Not necessarily to kick butt or break through the male dichotomy stuff, but just to find their own place.
So it was great having you over today, Trish.
Yeah, thank you. My pleasure.
Oh, it was awesome
All right.
seeing you.
I'll see you soon.
Why do you always spending the time? Why do you always
I love you. Okay.
You always get the first one. It's such a baby.
I look forward to your next show.
All right, cool.
All right,
Take
thanks,
care,
guys.
Trish. See you later, baby.
Well, another episode of Strange All Right in the can.
Absolutely, and we are very grateful for the opportunity to do this. We've got some wonderful people working with us, and we hope that you out there are enjoying. So we're going to be back in 1 month. Hope to see you again. And yeah, I'll see you again soon. Hopefully. Yeah, well, we'll see.
All right,
Take care.
Bye. See you again.
Hey, what's that sound?